Hey there, folks. Chuck here, and wow, just got back from Knoxville, Tennessee, where my brother treated me to all of the delightful diecast hunting and Dollywood that can be found in the Smoky Mountain parts of Tennessee. And he had some cars that he had picked for me, and we went out and we picked some more, and I just wanted to share them with you as I just got back in town. And before I go to bed, I wanted to get these cataloged and show you what I found, because I found some cool stuff. First of all, Justin had these thrown in, and they are super cool. Nice vintage collector's catalog and collector's club official handbooks. I might have to do specials just on these, because look at these. How cool is that? You got history of Matchbox, how the new models are made, and of course this was, I think this is also from 1973, not sure. Let's see, 1980, so tells you about the 75 series and the 900s and the Super Kings. So this would have been your Wikipedia of days gone by. And then in here, we got the amazing stuff that was available from Matchbox at the time. The Skybusters, the 75 series. You list all 75 of them. There's quite a few of them that I want to get. That Saab Sonnet is definitely one of them. Got a decent amount of the other ones. It's kind of funny that this Cougar is called the Rat Rod Dragster. And I'm pretty sure Rat Rod wasn't really a thing in the early 70s. I don't think the cars were old enough to be truly ratty, but really cool stuff. That Volkswagen camper is another one that I really want to get my hands on. The Speed Kings, just really cool trip back in time. But anyway, that's not what we're here to see. We're here to see all these awesome goodies. So we found some new stuff. We got cool stuff like this. This is the premium Bugatti EB110SS. Very nice take on a car that had been in main lines, but is now in the premium version. Very nice adaptation of that casting. And there's some cool old ones, like this old Majorette Saab Turbo. It's got opening doors. One of the problems that I have with these opening door cars, especially of this era, is that this would have been a sedan door, so it should have a wireframe outside, but oh well. I just did that with that 1980 Porsche build, and yeah, it's fine. They were toys. This one, much better. This is a Road Champs Mercedes, and it's actually got lensed tail lamps. Look at that, David Johns. No lensed headlamps, though. It does have opening doors, which is another strike against David Johns, but it is a metal car, and it's a Mercedes-Benz 500. Decent casting for the time. This one, glad I picked it up, because we just did that interview with Eddie over at Diecast Breakdown, Eddie Castro, who designed this van, and I know it's not for everyone, but it is for me, and I love me a good custom van, and just this one's really funky, and I love the tunishness of it. This one actually is an old Hot Wheels McDonald's Happy Meal toy. So this is a simplified version of their Lamborghini Diablo mainline. So they blacked out the thing, so it's got no interior. This was kind of on the trailing edge of the Hot Wheels and Happy Meals. They really started taking a big dip in quality, but this was still would have been a very cool casting. And this one actually was picked by my daughter, because Tracy loves her some purple cars. Found this in an antique shop. I thought it was pretty cool. It's a Hot Wheels car dated 2002. Not car, but you know what I mean. But decent looking little, pretty close to 1/64 scale boat. And I'll be right back. All right, we're back. That was JC of JC's Auto Parts in Marietta, Oklahoma. Friend of the show. Anyway, I don't know much about this Hot Wheels car. Leave a comment if you know what's the deal with that one. This is one that's actually been in my collection for a long time, and my brother found it and gave it back to me, which was very nice of him. This is a Welly. It's a Mustang 2 Ghia. Would have been the high-end trim on this car, but this could have just been a regular Mustang 2 notchback. And for some reason it's done up like a police car. Don't know why anybody would want one of these as a police car, but you know, that's Welly in the 70s for you. But it's a very nice casting, very well detailed, and kind of hard to find these days. So it was nice of him to return that to me. Let's see, other cars up here that we'll go through really quick. This is from the Pixar series. This is based on Doug from Up, the dog. And I just thought this was kind of a cool fantasy 30s car that could be fun for a tune build. Kind of like that one. This is a Nova car. It's a plastic body, metal base. Nova cars were pretty cheapy cars back in the day. And I can't remember exactly what minivan this is based on. I want to say it's like a early Honda Odyssey, but I know that's not it. I think it's something Nissan. It would have been like a Euro or Asian only market vehicle, but it's got all the wonderful fake things on it that I love from cheapo cars. This, which I think is one of the best castings to come out of the Matchbox Moving Parts series in years, the Jeep forward control or forward cab truck. Love the built-in wheel on this side. It's a really nice casting, and if you're going to have moving parts, a dump bed is a great way to have that moving parts feature. That very unusual Jeep. Very cool to have that represented. Found another crack up for a decent price at an antique shop, and this is very similar to one that I had and still have, but it's nice to have a backup because when we go to do the modified one, it's nice to have extra parts. Sometimes springs go flying. This is a no-namer. You find these frequently at tourist traps. I don't know. It was part of a group of cars that I bought in a bag, along with this Summer is the brand. Anyway, their cars are not super accurate, but kind of fun if you're doing like a field of rotted old pre-war cars. This is the classic Hot Wheels Chevy truck. It's missing some pieces, but this is a Real Riders version, and it has all 4 Real Riders intact, which is pretty cool considering this is a 40-year-old casting. I'm pretty sure that was about the same time when they actually were doing the Real Riders version of this. And I think it's interesting because this car is a kid custom, and it was blue. It was metallic blue originally, so it was probably the Highwayman or Bywayman, I can't remember which one it is, originally, and somebody painted it green. And I love kid customs and having them in my collection. These are from the Jay Leno series. I love this Nova, or not Nova, this Yenko Corvair. Very cool. I love the second generation Corvairs. Very cool car with a very cool livery on it, and his 300 going, complete with the chips and damages that come with having an original paint job car. So great casting. Jay, if you're watching, please come on the show. The bread van, love this casting. Great casting. Don't love the orange windshield, but for what I'm going to do with it, it does not need the orange windshield. This is a classic, the Matchbox double-decker bus. That's probably closer to 1/100th scale than actual 1/64 scale. Don't know why there was electrical tape on it. Is this coming off? I don't know. But it was in a bag along with this Larry Wood design tow truck, the 24-hour towing. This was the later version that did not have his phone number on it, but it does have the old AAA logo on it, which I think is very cool. Ford Bronco, it's missing the back, but you know, with my kind of customs, that doesn't really matter that much. And I do love me a good Blackwall era for very little money. Another old school Matchbox, not really old school, but this is 20 plus years ago, pretty old school. Snowplow, bought it mostly for the snowplow. And I bought this one because it's a Matchbox and it's got red, orange, and yellow stripes on it. And as I pointed out many times, I am a sucker for red, orange, and yellow stripes. And it's got these cool holographic wheels. It's Malaise. It's got the right color scheme, all that good stuff. California Cruiser custom van. Really dig this casting, even though I am kind of sick of looking at it because I did just build 11 of these for the Diecast SuperCon in Las Vegas. But this is the original Blackwall one with the cool California Cruisin' graphics on it. And I believe I actually bought the California Cruisin' decals from Second Chance Redline. So it'd be nice to do a restoration on this one, or at least a restoration plus. And it's nice to have one of the actual California Cruisin' cars in my collection. This is a cool Hong Kong Beetle. It's kind of a late 60s, early 70s Beetle, which again is not really one that gets done all that often. So even though it's a little on the big side, I am a sucker for unusual VW Beetles made in Macau, actually. This is a Yachtming Cadillac Seville. I know the Hot Wheels resurgence of the Cadillac Seville has been ruffling some feathers around, but I do think this Yachtming casting was, while it is on the smaller side, a better proportioned version of the car. No offense to Larry Wood, but they're both great, and I'm glad to have them both in my collection. Over on this side, let's see what we got here. You got another Yachtming. This is the metal version of their ubiquitous beautiful van with more amazing generic graphics on it. This is a really cool find. This is a Husky Citroen Safari. It's a little on the small side, but then so was the Citroen. So I don't know how off in scale this thing really is, but it is a made in Great Britain model. It is missing something. There was something on the roof, and I'm sure there might have been glass at some point in there, but very unusual casting. Glad to have that in my collection. Another Yachtming. This is the Toyota Celica Supra, maybe? I don't know. Mark will correct me if he watches this. This is the Studebaker Lark Wagoneer, I should say. It is missing the little slide thing, but I do have a few that are intact and complete, so this will be a good spare for parts if I do anything wild custom-wise with it. This is the Hot Wheels take on the GMC RV. It's a later, much later version with the yellow glass, but it was practically free, so why not? This is very cool. This is a Renault 11 from Matchbox. Lynn's headlamps and David. Not Lynn's tail lamps though, but this is a very David Johns casting. It is 4-door, it is French, it is lensed, it is early 80s. And speaking of 80s, another Matchbox. This is the Matchbox Charger Daytona, or I think it was just the Daytona. Really cool casting. Thought these cars were really cool as a kid, because we only bought Mopars back in the day, so we'd see them in the shops when my parents would go in to buy a new Caravan. So not exactly family friendly. A little more family friendly is this Chevy Citation. This was an X11 version of the Citation. This is another Malaise masterpiece of monstrosity, but this is a very nice condition one that Justin found for me, and really glad to have that in the collection. Ertl. You got the Ertl Cannonball Run series. I love the Cannonball Run series, even though not a single car in that series is actually accurate to the cars that were used in the film. But I am a sucker for Hollywood cars, and we'll be talking about that on our next edition of Diecast Breakdown Live. So be sure to subscribe and ring the bell for that. This Ferrari Competizione is a mess, but I love a mess. Speaking of messes, this Kenner Fast Ones. Not 111, not 111, but Fast Ones. Dune Buggy. Just a fun casting, and I love these generic backs that they would put on them, and there would usually be a unique license plate. Each one got its own unique license plate, which I thought was a pretty cool marketing gimmick. Ford's version of the Dodge Daytona. I'm going to get some comments about that. This is actually a no-name casting, but it is a really good one for a early 80s Fox body. Like, very well proportioned. Separate headlamps, not lensed, but they are part of the black plastic underneath, and a separate piece of red plastic for the taillights, which is very cool. And actually really good body lines on this. Like, it is pretty accurate. They even got the little turn signal notches in there, so this thing would detail up really nicely. So this is going to be a really fun build. Jaguar XJS, another Blackwall classic. Love this casting. One of the better castings of the Blackwall era, in my opinion. These are super cool. These are Matchbox Ultras, and I don't know very much about them, so please enlighten me. But this is a Saab Turbo, I believe. Saab 9000 Turbo. Again, it's got the thing where the doors open, but there should be like a thing up here. The sedan door frame should be opening with it. But again, that's not how these kid-friendly toys are. But these all have the rubber tires on them. They all had Goodyear Eagles, which again is not exactly the kind of car that you'd have on a Volvo, but on a Volvo 740. Anyway, these were a little more on the expensive side, but they're super cool, and they remind me of the World Class series, but even better because they actually have interiors. They have detailed, multicolored interiors. So if you look in there, you can see there's like a blue and white interior on this thing. Detailed undercarriage. That was hand-painted. Well, maybe it wasn't, but multicolored, detailed undercarriages, license plates, detailed front thingies, logos, detailed grills. Very, very nice castings for, you know, the time. And a Lincoln Town Car, same thing. This is another Matchbox Ultra. Again, kind of decently detailed, multicolor interior, detailed headlamps, tail lamps, fat white walls on it. Pretty hard to beat. This is a car I've been meaning to add to my collection for a while, and this is the Shohas. It's a Mustang 2 dragster Blackwall era car. I think, yeah, it wouldn't have been around for the red lines because the Mustang 2 didn't really come until 74, so this would have been post red lines. But yeah, fun casting. I'm a sucker for Malaise Mustang 2s. Not that there's any other kind of Mustang 2s. This is a Collins Motorsport version of the Dodge Ram Charger. It's got that 78 grille that's very similar to my 77. It's the closest so far that I've come to having a car that looks like one of the cars that I own, and I love this color scheme. I actually helped Opa out with a decal set that looked very similar to this before he passed, so it's nice to have one of those for myself. And this was actually done by a customizer at the flea market, and I believe he just changed the wheels out on it, but it was really nice of him to sell this at a very reasonable price, and I like adding customs from other builders into my collection, so for the low price that he was offering, it was nice to have that one included in it. This is from the Halley's Comet series from 1986. There was a Trans Am and this old Mercury police car. I believe this is the Mercury. Yep, Mercury. Fitting with being a space theme. I think this is one of the last years that they did this particular casting. It was pretty long in the tooth by the 1980s, but it is a fun casting, and I loved this little weird, well, I won't say what I think it looks like, ghost on the side here of a comet. Chrysler 300. This is the Johnny Lightning casting, I believe. Yeah. And this is probably from the James Bond series. It's very nicely detailed. They got the gold air cleaner that would have been on the 55 300. Just a very classic design. Very nicely done by Johnny Lightning. Another one of these. Love the Renault. This is the i7TL. And just a very nice design. Just love the body lines on this car. This is the Dodge Charger Mark III. So this is a concept car. That unfortunately Dodge never really got to this to the Charger. Probably for the best. But pretty cool. A little bit of Mopar history. Got the old Rose's Express Buick stock car. This would have been, I believe this was, it's just branded as Mattel, but I think this was actually a Hot Wheels car. It's got Hot Wheels black wall wheels on it. But anyway, Mr. 2. This is the old Matchbox MR2. Not a very good representation, especially compared to the one that they have out now, but it was nice for its day, and very cool car to have in my collection. Alright, moving on, because we are not done. Not at all. I've got the bag. And we'll go through these pretty quickly, but I do want to set this aside because this is the Matchbox Coal Trickle Days of Thunder car. So, I've got quite a few of these now. This one's in pretty decent shape, but it was in a grab bag and I was happy to pick up another one. This is a Stomper, which is not die-cast at all, but I like the Stompers, and it was also in a grab bag. More Yachtming vans. Got this no-name Porsche Turbo. It's actually a nicely done casting. This is a Maisto. It's pretty cool. Brick nose Ford F-150. Don't get too many of those. I know that Greenlight is doing a brick nose, which is good. They should do those. And no-namer car. It's weird fox body thing that I thought was kind of cool. This is fun. This was a Maisto, I believe. No, Majorette Chevy Blazer. So this would have been like the last version of the Chevy Blazer before it went to the Trailblazer. And sadly, it's missing the lift-up glass part back here. But, excuse me. But that's pretty cool. Didn't have that one. This weird little Morgan Plus 8. Kind of found that in an architectural salvage place of all places. Hot Wheels, Mercedes has definitely seen better days. I actually did a different version of this car for a Painted Pink challenge. Wasn't this casting, it was a similar casting though. This is the Maisto Z8. It's actually a good casting. And that's something that I brought up with Eddie, is that a lot of people write off Maistos as stuff like this, but it's really not. It's their castings, especially lately, have been really well proportioned, and I think this is a Road Champs. Yep, Road Champs Trans Am, not to be confused with the Yachtming Trans Am, which was very similar, but they both had opening doors. I think the Yachtming one is a little better. This one has really thick paint on it. Like, it is very bulky paint on it. This one I really like. It's a Majorette 300ZX Turbo. Unfortunately, it's missing the best part of this casting, which is the headlights that pop up and down, but I've got another one that does that. So this will be a good one for a junkyard series that I'm hoping to do sooner than later. This Hot Wheels, not really sure what this one's called, but really dug this fan in the middle, this die-cast metal, and this one definitely has some really cool parts. That will go on a future build. So Maisto Dodge Viper. Again, surprisingly well done. Don't write them off. Not like this stuff. But I also, have my soft spots for crappy, no-brand cars. Yeah, this one is a Hot Wheels. Not anything I'm particularly aware of. I'm sure somebody will write in the comments that thing is a very special thing based on something that actually existed. Got this one because these are rubber tires. They've got Goodyear Eagles on them. So, good donor wheels. Another one. This one's got kind of Matchbox style raised white letters. These are very similar to the car wheels that we go on a Matchbox car, but it is not Matchbox, or at least it's not branded as such. Nope. Eh. Somebody threw Johnny Lightning in a cheap grab bag and snapped that up. It's got the detailed engine inside there. Pretty cool. It's an old Racing Champions, which is one of the things I love about Racing Champions is that they started doing stock cars before they could even get the license to the actual car. So they made this generic car that's sort of a Thunderbird, sort of a Lumina, and started doing these recreations of the cars as best they could until they got enough money to start buying the licenses for the actual cars. So not a real car, but real clever use of creativity to get around licensing. And Micro Machines did that with their Renaissance as well. They came back with some generics, and then now they're back with brands and movie partnerships. This is very cool. These are fun. These would be something that you would find in the 90s in a Dollar Tree or your Everything's Dollar store, which is where I found these. And these were by Lionel. And I can't remember exactly what they were called, but I had to look it up because I was like, where did these come from? Because they're not branded because they're on both sides, but there is a little thing here that, so I guess they are branded. LTI, and that was Lionel Trains Incorporated or something. Anyway, Lionel Trains got into the diecast game. Who knew? And these are goofy, but they are goofy in a fun way. And I thought they were really cool as a kid. This is a... It says Malibu. Malibu? No, Malibu. Just an Audi, but it is lensed. And it's missing this, so this is a junkyard category car for sure. Another old stock car with nice donor wheels. This is Nevins International. This would have been a Kellogg's car. This would have been in a box of cereal, or you would have sent away for it. So that's very cool. Another no-name Porsche, but this one has opening doors. I think I'll stick to the 911s that I just built, though. They were a little bit better. Maris Banks from Hot Wheels. It's missing the windshield, but that's very easily fixed. It's a cool casting. It's one of the last metal castings that they did. I know there's still like one or two out there, but not many left. Weird, ugly Jaguar XJ. Got this because it has a donor bumper that would be decent. This was in a grab bag. It's a made in China semi-truck. Gennaro 300ZX. Gennaro Camaro. Would be a fun band name. Another XJ6 generic. This is another summer car. Generic, but actually branded Chevrolet with a Chevrolet bed on it, which I thought was interesting. Generic Trans Am. This would have been a promotional car. I believe this was in... It was in somebody's Happy Meals. Manufactured by Johnson Grossfield Inc., China. And licensed by the Ford Motor Company. But this was to promote the 1997 Flubber movie. Starring Robin Williams. And featuring this car. And it's a very cool casting. Wheels aren't great, but very nicely detailed for what it was. And one of the only ways that you can find a bullet nose bird without the tonneau cover on the back to make it a two-seater. I just thought this was a nice stock version of the Mercedes ML320. Usually you see these in 164. They're done up as Jurassic World or Jurassic Park Lost World vehicles, so it's nice to get a stock one. Another Firebird Trans Am, no namer, but opening doors. Good junkyard candidate. This is one of the things that I really like about Maisto lately is their tuned series. Like, it's really well done, nicely detailed, great proportions, very fun, cartoony. I think the big guys could take notice of something like this. This is called the Tachi Turbo 650, and very clearly based on a Nissan hardbody, but very well done. Props to Eddie and the crew over there. Another beautiful van. This one just said, or delightful van. Can't remember what they were called exactly. Your Way. And this isn't even branded yet. I mean, this is kind of a Toyota Corona type generic thing. I know this is a Hot Wheels. Makes me think of Mike Zarnock's car. It's not, but kind of a similar type design. You know, it would have been a different class altogether. I thought this was just goofy fun. 1996 LGT. Not really sure what it's from, but it's got some cool pieces that would find their ways well onto a sci-fi build. Weird kind of Honda Civic looking thing. This one is probably going to be going into a commission for my friend JC, who I was just on the phone with, because he's got a 79, but it is a club cab, so I'm going to figure out how to add some extra windows back here. But it's a very nice casting the Hot Wheels did. They did the Sam Walton truck based on it. Kind of a, it says track on it, not Mac, track. Oh well. Like this one, this is a Matchbox. I believe it is just called the Jungle something, Jungle Crawler, but very much feels based on like an old Chrysler or Power Wagon type setup. So, love that casting. Maisto Lamborghini Diablo. It's definitely seen some better days. Another one that I got for the grill. And this one, why am I spacing on the name of this one? But it's the good one. It's the one with the big engine, the big pipes, and the cool bat on the front. They did two different versions of it. One was much more simple than this one, and this is the cool version. Love this six-wheeler from Matchbox. ATV 6x6. Another great customized candidate. It's got lots of detail with these little cargo in the back and the gas can. Maisto Corvette. Again, like, not bad. You get past the wheels. It's a pretty decent execution of a C4 Corvette. Found this tractor. Don't really do tractors, but it's about the right scale, and it was $2, so why not? Majorette Sonic Flashers, police vehicle. This would have usually been an ambulance, but have these little things on top that would light up. And I'm pretty sure there's just a toxic mess in there now, which is probably part of the reason why part of it's brown. But those batteries do degrade over time, and finally on the used, offering another weird four-eyed fox. Not nearly as nice as that other one. And this one, which is another Kiddo custom, which is a Matchbox tow vehicle that somebody painted, but it's all there. Smokestacks are all there, and just a very nice compliment to having to building a custom. Does this flip out? I don't know. All right. Oh, and I found these. You know, with my little kids, I've kind of gotten back into the 80s and late 70s Tootsie Toys. So this VW Rabbit, I've got it in yellow, but I got it in black, and I got a suburban looking police vehicle as well. And those are fun toys to play with my kids. And found this little boat too. Not sure if it's a Tootsie toy or not, but it kind of fits the theme of these things. It was super cheap. New find that I'm very excited about. Found the 74 Dodge Challenger Rally that Chad Reed and the good folks over at Auto World and Round 2 have come up with, and really nice to see a e-body that is the second phase of the e-bodies, more catfish mouth Chally. So very nice to have that represented well. And I did find these guys, the M2 Machine series, which I've been trying to find. So I got the 70 Datsun 510, the 64 Ford Econo line, the 85 Chevy Camaro, and the 69 Charger Daytona. And they all got cool names like Captain B-Body and Major IROC and Colonel Econoline and Captain 510. And oddly, all of them have the Ford logo on the box, on both sides of the box, which is odd, and I'm sure that was some kind of licensing agreement that they had to have. But everybody else's stuff is down here, but Ford is on everybody's box. So I'm sure there's an interesting story behind that. Anyway, that's what I found. Hope you've been finding some good stuff in diecast hunting. And thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you get a chance, please be sure to like, subscribe, share, watch episodes of Diecast Breakdown on this channel or on your favorite podcast app. And as always, I want to thank you for coming along with me for the ride. So until next time, stay fresh, cheese bags.